If you own your own business, you might be thinking about the day when you no longer keep running your business, right? We might love our businesses, but we really would not want to run them for all eternity, even if we could. So coming up with a solution and thinking in advance, whether you might have that happen in the near future or so far down the road that you just can't even imagine it, getting a good understanding of what's involved in selling your business or transferring your business is important and of great value to all those who are wise enough to embrace the thought. Now, if you type into the internet why businesses don't sell, you'll get a lot of feedback. I found these articles just typing into my computer before doing this recording. There's Forbes magazine. Studies show why many business owners can't sell. Another article about 80% of businesses, why 8 out of 10, why 80%. I've seen articles between 70 and 90% of the facts that businesses go on the marketplace and just never sell. So there's a lot of different reasons, and we're in full understanding of a lot of the reasons that happens. And that's sort of what we do because we serve business owners in this process. But being aware and thinking through the process will give you a lot of power to get to the point where you're ready to sell your business at some point down the road. One of the things I encourage people early on in the process is to really get an understanding as to why they want to sell. If you're just thinking you're at a certain age and that's magical and you have to get out, that might not be the reality. Maybe deep down you might say, I want to do this for a little bit longer. Or maybe you've got some health problems, or maybe you've got some issues of people that you love. I had one client years ago and she had to take off because she wanted to spend more time with her mom who was going through some challenges with her memory and that sort of thing. But get a full understanding of the reasons for selling your business. Now, consider your options. I come from the world of helping people buy and sell businesses because that is what I do. But people love to transfer their businesses onto family members sometimes. You can also hire a manager if you can find a good enough manager to stick around and live with the proceeds. You lose control, but you have some other values that come out of that. You can pass it on to your employees. There's an ESOP program. Or you can just plain out find an employee that saved up enough money that would be a good manager in your business and do that. You can acquire businesses. Sometimes people are just a little tired of the tedium of what they've been doing for several decades and think, wow, wouldn't it be fun to acquire and grow and have a new perspective? The other end of the spectrum might be just to shut the doors. The heck with it. I'm closing up and I'm going away. Way too many business owners do that, and we'd hate to see that happen. You can grow more. You can find a competitor to take over your business, but make sure you really are in control. Not long ago, I had a friend who shared a story, and about 25 years back in the past, he had been running his business, hired a really great manager, and said to that manager, how about you put some money away, we'll help do a retirement program, and when I get ready to leave this business, we will use that money as a down payment and you can buy me out. And the manager at that time said that would be great. Well, many years passed. And over Christmas, the seller realized, my gosh, I never even took my kids to the Grand Canyon and the vacation. Now they've got grandkids. I'm just dead tired. I'm ready to get out. And so we went that January to that manager and said, by the way, Paul, I'm ready to get out. Let's do that plan. And Paul looked at him and said, I'm 63 years old, man. I thought that was cool when I was in my 40s, but you kept this business so long. I'm not going to go get a 10-year loan, put my house up on the marketplace and worry about things. I got my own retirement plans in place. And suddenly everything shifted in a big way for that individual who thought they had their way out of the business. Okay. So understand what will someone pay for your business is really key. A lot of times we've got some advice and we've heard some information from the buddies that we know who sold their business from 7X and blah, blah, blah. A lot of times the accountants say something along with blah, blah, blah. They forget that part. Your business will be worth $1 bazillion, what have you. But getting a reality check by getting a valuation for your business is so important. Imagine you calling up a travel agent. You say, hey, I'd like to make a vacation. They say, where do you want to go? And you say, someplace fantastic. They say, okay, kind of open-ended, but that's fine. When do you want to do that? And you say, I don't know, sometime in the future. And the flight scheduler says, okay, I hear that. Bottom line this, how about this? Where are you going to start from? You say, I don't know where I'm going to be at that point in time when I start planning this thing out. And the point of that is that you can't make a reservation if you don't know where you're going, how you're going to get there, and when you're going to get there. But the important part is even knowing where you're starting right now. So if you own a business, and I encourage almost everybody, go get a real solid valuation. You don't have to spend a ton of money. There's some people give you a free one, but those sort of are, you get what you pay for, so to speak. But get a valuation so you really understand where you are in the marketplace. And you might be delighted, you might be concerned, you might be surprised, you might scratch your head and go, well, if that's the way it works, here's some things I can do to get to the point where I want to be when I'm ready to retire. I always encourage people to keep confidentiality at a main part of their process, letting the competition know you're for sale. Sometimes they take advantage of it. Sometimes your customers get concerned and maybe they don't come back or they find another place. The employees get a little itchy and think, well, it's going to happen. Usually confidentiality is a really important process. I encourage you to have a plan. This is a complicated process, and so sit down with some advisor. We're business intermediaries, and we help people through the process, but find somebody who does a lot of the work of helping people buy and sell business, just sit through and explain the details of the process. One of the key things that you're going to do when you create your business for sales, you're going to create a story, the type of information somebody's going to get only after they've signed a non-disclosure agreement and made you feel comfortable with who they are, and then you can send this package to them or share this package with them. The reason this is important is that you could have two businesses, as an example, that are in the same industry, been around for the same amount of time, earning the same gross revenues and the same net profit, and yet be worth entirely different amounts. And what you want to do is demonstrate why your business is the one that's worth the most and explain why the value is there besides just some sort of formula that's done in the process of valuing a business, right? So there's that number, hey, it's worth this. Here's the why, and that's a big, big why that's important. So take time to create your story. Put all your data together in one spot. People are going to want to know about your business, and I encourage people to share different levels of information at different levels in the relationship. In other words, you might do this first advertisement and say, hey, this is business for sale. It's a wonderful whatever the industry is, making whatever money and netting whatever profit, right? You're going to talk about that, and people are going to like, well, who is that? What is that business? And you say, sign a confidentiality agreement and let me know more about you before I release any information. But then when you do, they're going to say, okay, that's when you send that little story, and maybe you send some more information about your financials. But at that point, you need to cut it off and say, hey, if you want to know everything about my business, if you want to see my taxes and the W-2s and all the different information and who I buy my products from, let's find out if you even are going to offer me a price I'm willing to consider and whether you, as a buyer, are able to buy my business. So data comes in different levels, but when you get to that process, you want to make sure that they are able to get the information in a timely manner. I mentioned confidentiality, make people sign and understand the confidentiality agreement. But besides that, also make sure you know who you're talking to. Ask to see their ID, meet them in a neutral place. You can't meet you at your business, obviously, if they're still uncertain or you're trying to maintain confidentiality, but at least have an ID. Some people don't want to show their ID on the internet for some reasons, et cetera, that are maybe even good reasons. I go to LinkedIn, I look for some sort of following to try and understand, but make sure that you know who you're talking to. And then realize that down the road, you're going to end up doing negotiation. And I encourage people to stay in charge of the relationship. You're going to have to go for a win-win or it's no deal. Most buyers are not pushovers. They need to have a win-win, and you need to win and get what you want. Please don't pass on the business negotiation to someone outside of you. And I'm going to say this real quickly, and I should have said this a few other times through the process. Always go get an attorney to help you through the process, and always go get an accountant to help you through the process. You need to have professionals, and I encourage you to go get a really highly qualified business intermediary or business broker to work with you. That being said, still the important thing is to stay in charge. In other words, if you give the business over, let's say, to an attorney, she or he is going to be out there to defend and protect you every possible way. But the final end production is to not sell it at all, right? Because then you're totally safe. And then it turns into a win, lose, lose. The attorney makes all the money. You lose because you don't sell, and the buyer loses because the buyer doesn't lose. I'm not saying that that's a bad way to go all the time in any case, but in general, what I prefer to see people do is negotiate. And then when you get to a point, you say, let me see if I can feel comfortable about doing some seller financing. You go to your attorney and say, hey, this guy or this gal needs whatever, and what do I do? And the attorney will help you legally. Here's what you need to do. Protect yourself. I don't recommend it, but if you're going to do it, yada, 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 that sort of thing. Stay in charge. And when you negotiate, take the lead. The last thing I'm going to wrap up on is be patient. It takes a while to sell a business in every situation. Now, I've had people that found buyers in 2 weeks, and I've seen other businesses that have gone for 2 years. And don't forget that early slide about 80% of the businesses that never sell. Be organized, details, prepared. Prepare yourself, get the right value, do all the things that are right, and it's going to make a big difference. But also be patient, because it's not like a house. There's not 1,000 buyers just sitting waiting to buy your business. The right buyer has to come around at the right time, see the business in the right way, work together. That's one reason we work in our company with other business brokers around the world to find the right buyer, because we realize that sometimes only so many people are going to find our place, and only so many are going to find the people from our competitors out there, but we work together. Please be patient and realize that this is a big deal, what you got going on. I hope this has been useful and helpful to you. I know I jabber a little bit. I get excited because I love what I do. I've been doing this for a couple of decades now. But if you'd like to reach out to us, you have any questions, you've got any insights, there's a QR code. You can pull out your camera. You can call us at 833-BuyBiz1. I put the numbers down there to make it easy. Or email us at biz@BuyBizUSA. All right. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Good luck. If you got a great business, keep managing it and making it awesome. The pictures I picked out there are there for a reason. One represents adventure and seeing the world and living a great life after you have retired. Hopefully you're doing that now too. Maybe you're going to motor a motorcycle or not. Time is there because time is limited for all of us. The picture of the little trees out there represents wealth, and you deserve a great amount for your business. And the last picture in the sunset is important and dear because most everybody I know reflects on how great they've got the loved ones, the family, the beauty of love in their family and their lives. And those are all important qualities to us as well. Good luck, take care, and thank you. Bye-bye.